getting the Z650 out for another little spin here. Every day since I brought it home from the dealership, it's been raining out, so have not had many opportunities to take this thing out for a ride. As you may notice, I've added a little GPS mount and GPS on here, so no more getting lost. Of course, I am just a half a mile from my house right now, so I'm just out for a quick spin, so no getting lost tonight. But looks like it's going to stay dry for at least a little bit here, so get the bike out and have a little fun here. So my first little video there was probably more of a rambling than it was a review, but just to do a little recap for you guys, there's just not a whole lot I can say negative about this bike. Really enjoying it, really loving it. The power band is pretty incredible. Just like they say, a lot of low range power, real linear. So just a nice roll on power. Shifting is great, super smooth. Don't mind these mirrors too much. Braking seems okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the brakes. Nice. I love these adjustable levers. Clutch and brake lever have the adjustments on them. Nice little feature. One little interesting thing I noticed was this the fuel gauge. When it gets down to the last little bar here on the E, it will start flashing, which is no big surprise probably to anybody. But what's interesting about it is the other day when I hit the E, trying to sprinkle out a little bit here. When I hit the E and that started flashing, I first went right, checked my range. Let's see what it says now. Range 128 miles. But when that was flashing E, it said 50 miles, which is probably pretty accurate, because when that starts flashing, this is a 4-gallon fuel tank, and when that starts flashing, you have 1 gallon of gasoline still. So that's quite a bit. Now I rode 10 miles to the nearest gas station while this was flashing on E, and I filled it up to the top, and I put in 3 gallons exactly. So even after 10 miles of riding flashing on E, this thing still had a gallon of gas in it. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So, and the fact that the range said 50 miles when it first started flashing, that's probably even a little bit conservative. Probably can push that a little bit farther. But I did read in the manual, which I thought was very interesting, that when it gets so low, it didn't say exactly how low, but when it gets so low, after it starts flashing, the range is not to be relied on anymore. It will stop working, apparently. I have not seen that, so I can't confirm or deny that, but you might not want to rely on that after all. But anyway, I found that interesting. Made an adjustment to my helmet mount. In the first video I had it all the way back, so it still seemed a little bit low. It was showing a little bit lower than what I was actually seeing, so I made a slight adjustment to this mount, and now I'm able to bring it back farther. I do have it adjusted downward, probably back closer where the first video looks like. I'm trying to find just the right spot, so hopefully this looks okay to you guys. But yeah, what else can I say about this bike? Geez, it's just hard to find anything negative about it. It's really a lot of fun. I'm liking the black. It's grown on me quite a bit. I am thinking I might want to get some frame sliders put on this, just in case it was ever to get knocked over or go down. I think that might be a decent little investment, so I might look into that. It's got a real nice upright riding position that I'm getting more and more used to all the time, so I'm liking that a lot too. I think I'll get on the throttle here pretty quick, and hopefully you'll be able to, this mic will be able to pick up the growl of the engine here. See if you can hear any difference here. Just like that. Gets going quick, fast. No doubt about it. Yeah, a lot of fun. But I'm trying to be good, as you guys know, so that was just a test for you guys. Just a little sound test. Kind of chilly out here tonight, that's for sure. Got myself a new pair of gloves. Olympia brand, the gel pad gloves. I had these exact same gloves in the Kevlar version. Thought I'd try out these gel pad ones. They say they take away a little bit of the vibration in the handlebars. Now, seriously, don't have too many complaints about any vibrations on this bike. I mean, granted, I can feel some right now, kind of here and there, but you know, just the normal vibrations. But I just thought, you know, why not get a new pair of gloves? These gel pad type were talked about online and supposedly help a little bit. Liking this little GPS unit, sits there pretty nicely. Got it mounted to where if I just were to leave it on and turn and park the motorcycle and turn my handlebars to the left, it doesn't touch the tank. So kind of got it at that angle. It's a pretty nice little angle for me. I like it. I do not have this wired up to anything, so it's strictly running off a battery. I have been looking into that, watching videos, trying to decide what I want to do there. We'll just have to wait and see what I decide on that. I'm kind of curious how long the battery will last on this GPS unit. I don't, you know, plan on going on any real super long trips, but it would be nice if it was wired and I didn't have to worry about power. Liking the flow of traffic out here, doing about 10 over and just staying up with traffic. Liking that. Thought it was interesting too. I was reading the manual. It says, you know, let it idle for 2 to 3 minutes minimum. Make sure all the oil gets mixed up at the engine real well. But then on the very next page it says, do not let it idle for more than 5 minutes, as you may start doing damage to your engine. So kind of a fine little line there from getting it just right to possibly doing damage. But who actually times how much idle time there is when you start a bike up? Usually you kind of start it up, get your gear on, and by the time you're ready, you're good to go. So it's probably kind of a non-issue, but I just thought that was a little bit interesting. Kind of watch on these roads here. What they do is they repave the roads and make them nice, smooth asphalt roads, just absolutely beautiful, nice. And then as soon as they get done doing that, they come and chip and seal over it. So they just, you know, tar it, put all this gravel over it. And of course, that's been a while since they've done that, but there's still quite a bit of loose gravel kind of everywhere on the road. So got to be careful out here. Got my blinker on again. Maybe I wasn't doing as well as I thought. Hopefully my mic setup and audio setup's doing well. I don't know if I told you, I've got just kind of an inexpensive setup. I think I mentioned about the mic setup that I kind of just jury-rigged to put together myself with pieces I had laying around the house. As far as the video, it's a DB Power EX5000 model. Just, I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks off of eBay. Seems decent. The wife thought the screen grass looked a little yellow, so maybe the color isn't perfect, but for the price, it's pretty good. Yeah, really wanting the weather to warm up so I can really come out here and enjoy the rides. A little chilly tonight, about an hour before dusk, so I just thought I'd get a little ride in while it wasn't raining. This bike is so light and nimble too. Is one thing I briefly touched on in the first video, but yeah, so light and nimble. You can just kind of whip it back and forth and really enjoy these roads. Let's see, what else can I say about the bike? I probably haven't mentioned too much about the seat. Personally, I think it's pretty comfortable. Now, the other day on the ride home, that took me, over a couple hours, and yeah, after a few hours, it starts getting hard. It definitely noticed, but that's kind of standard too. A couple hours, you need to get off and take a break. But yeah, after a couple hours, the seat was definitely starting to firm up. But no real complaints. It's a pretty good seat otherwise. See, what sort of gas mileage am I getting on this thing here? Average miles per gallon, 52.8. So, and I've been in eco mode most of my rides. They advertise 55 miles per gallon. So yeah, not too many complaints there. That's pretty nice. I like that. Definitely like that. Wanted to take that road back there. I'm just trying to do this little loop here. Another thing I can say about the bike, I guess, is a nice tight turning radius. Just went off the road there a little bit, but otherwise that was pretty tight turning radius. Originally I was going to look at a CB500F. I was kind of had my heart set on that. I was thinking that was about the right size bike for me. Inexpensive, looked real nice. Always like Honda products. They always make a good product. Looked at it, liked it, watched the reviews, really good reviews on that bike too. And doing my research, I didn't even realize that there was such a thing as a Z650 for 2017. I didn't even realize it was coming out. So once I found that out, I started looking into it. And then of course I was looking at the FZ07, which is super popular. And started comparing those two. Liked a lot of things about the FZ07 also. But to be totally honest, it came down to mainly one of the biggest reasons, the lower seat height for me. This bike just fit me better. And I hear a lot of people talking about the FZ07 as a wheelie machine. And again, I'm not out here wanting to do a bunch of wheelies. My hooligan days are behind me, so not that I did wheelies back then either, but it was more speed was my thing. But no, this bike is great. Really liking it. It was a great choice. So far, just absolutely loving it. So for any of you thinking about it, yeah, you won't be disappointed. And I know a lot of people probably comparing the two bikes, the FZ07 and the Kawasaki Z650. There is the Suzuki SV650 also, which is another popular bike. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some shootout reviews online and between the three bikes and seeing how they all compare. You probably can't go wrong with any of the three of them, I bet. Now I do have my 90-day permit. I still have to go take my skills test to get the actual full endorsement. So officially, with the 90-day permit, I can only ride in the daylight hours, and I cannot have any passengers on the back, which I already broke that rule already once. The wife had to get on and go for a ride, of course. It is trying to rain out a little bit. Well, maybe I'll just head for home for the heck of it. Getting cold out here anyway. Got the bike out. Happy about that. Yeah, I'm marching the Pacific Northwest. Just weather doesn't want to cooperate for me. Oh well. I'll get plenty of riding time in later this summer, no doubt about that. Yeah, wanting to rain a little bit harder. Time to head for home.